So I've been waiting for this for over a decade now. This is something that really makes installing a freestanding tub a lot easier. It really takes all the work out of it completely, really. And that is using a drain assembly that is going to allow the tailpiece of your freestanding tub to slide in and seal right into a drain. So there's no connection that you have to make later. And really what this does is really prevent you from having to open up the ceiling down below to connect a freestanding tub. You literally just set this on the tub, put it into place. And best of all, what I really like about this system is that you're able to make it completely waterproof. So if you ever seen any of those freestanding tubs sitting in a shower setting, would be the ideal way to do it. And what's really awesome is that it's the same size as like a Schluter drain. So if you have a Schluter system, you want to build a freestanding tub inside of a shower, this is going to be an excellent way to go. So it literally just, all it has is like a rubber gasket around it. So it's the same kind of blinding flange aspect, and then it just receives 1.5 inch piping on it. So we're going to set this in place, get this set up so that when we finish all the tile work, we can just easily, the freestanding tub is going to be the easiest part of the installation. This is the way I would center my drain, is just use a piece of scrap of some sort, and then we'll drill a hole in the center, and then we can align our riser pipe to exactly where we need it. So this allows me to center that up that trap perfectly. So we're going to put a little extension on this. So that allows me to get, it's a 3 1/4. So that keeps it nice and center. Now I know that that's exactly where I need it. I'm gonna put another board under here because I don't want that flopping around like that. All right, yeah, so now it's nice and stiff. What we want to do on the outside floor is we're going to be doing a heated flooring system, and then we're going to pour a floor leveler over that. So we're going to have about 1/4 inch worth of additional space, and we want to have this even with that floor leveler. So I'm obviously setting this before we even do any of that. So when I go to do the floor leveler, I'll just basically be pouring right up to there, and then we'll do a liquid waterproofing over the top of this. So I have some 1/4 inch foam board. Honestly, you can use plywood, whatever you have. Just, you just want to space it. But if you weren't doing that, the only thing I would pay attention to is you can see how the back of this kind of bumps out. So that's going to kind of raise it up off of the floor. So you might want to cut your subflooring this entire width to get it flush to the floor. But most of the time you're doing an uncoupling membrane. You're doing something between the floor because you're most likely doing tile. So, I think this works out well. This gives me a lot of ability to, floor level everything. So what I recommend is getting your pipe cut. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut this down a little bit, and then we're going to use an inside pipe cutter to make the adjustment cut. So just go ahead and put this riser pipe in, and then we'll go ahead dry fit this down. So measuring down to my 1/4 inch material, which is basically the bottom of where this is going to be sitting. So we've got 3 inches. Okay, so one thing I want you to pay attention to is try to chamfer the edges. So I'm just going to show you right here on this deal, but when you're on there, just basically get rid of all the burrs, but try to chamfer the edges of this. It might be tough to tell on camera, but basically all I'm doing is just kind of cutting Now, I mean, they do make chamfer tools that make this perfect. But what you're trying to do is round the edge here so that this slides nice and evenly into the pipe. So if you kind of take your time and edge this around here a little bit, just kind of take your knife and chamfer it, that's going to make sure that you're not pushing the drain down. You know, like I have a board under there that's kind of holding it together, but a lot of scenarios you might not have a lot of ability to have a block underneath of the trap. So if you chamfer this a little bit, this is going to ensure that that pipe gets on there. So just make sure that's all round and you have everything deburred. I'm going to dry fit this, see what this looks like now. So that's going to work out good. But it's just a little bit round, and it's allowing me to be able to glue right around there. I'm just going to apply a little bit of poly sealant between my layers here. And then I'm just going to basically glue it to the floor. Put glue around my pipe and glue around this. Okay, perfect. There we go. Perfect. This is just very simple, just a normal, essentially pipe assembly, just like you would do any type of kitchen sink. The only thing I'm going to recommend, though, is to just add a little bit of silicone to this. This is just, it's just a little bit of extra insurance. So when you seal this, because again, you don't want to have a problem with this. You don't want, if anything leaks, it's going to be tough to tell with this. And, just like any type of trap, just putting a little bit on that's really going to help out a lot. So this just kind of threads on here, hand tight. And then this will just basically pop right into place. They do give you a little packet of grease to put on this. So this is going to help lubricate this to be able to slide in, because that's a really a tight joint to the rubber gasket. So just put a bunch of that on there, and we'll lube up the actual rubber gasket too, so we make sure we don't have any problems. This rubber gasket, that'll help make sure that this slides into place. Move back towards the back this way. Yep, that's it. You all right?
Yeah, no, it's okay.
That's all there is to it. It's just a little cumbersome to get in. But yeah, I should mention, before you actually set this, you should make sure that those feet are all sitting on the ground, which these were. I just meant to re-mention that, because you can thread out the legs to make this fit. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice flow.